What's up, everyone, and welcome to World Building with Xizta and Omikins. We're back, second week, second episode, and we are going to continue this fantastic little world that we are drawing. Omi's drawing
I'm
a river.
attempting. I'm
Attempting.
attempting.
Attempting to
Attempting.
draw a river. Looks fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So what's up?
With me?
Yeah.
Uh, the roof.
Oh, cool. So last week, we drew a landmass. If you'd like to switch to what we did last week, this is what we got done so far.
Hmm.
We had some ideas thrown around for some general kind of things that we were doing. Something involving salt flats, which is kind of an inside joke that we have going that we'll explain a bit when we get that far. And then because of our mutual love for the TV show Supernatural, we figured maybe something involving demons or ghosts involving salt would be kind of cool. With Queen Thelina,
Hmm.
another inside joke that we'll get to at some point, and some other stuff. So one of the islands could be run by kids, and they're forced to leave at 18. That's a possibility. None of this stuff is set in stone. We'll hammer it out, but that's just to say that if it doesn't happen in this area, doesn't mean it won't happen somewhere else in the world. So, yeah. So what we're gonna focus on today is we're gonna do some more detail to the land masses that are drawn. Maybe try to come up with some names for some of the areas, but we're definitely gonna draw like mountain ranges and some kind of like lakes and rivers and that kind of stuff, and figure out what goes where. But I think first, before we draw any mountains or anything, we have to kind of decide what the scale of these
Yeah.
islands are gonna be. I joked last week, and I said that the tiniest island on the screen could actually be the size of the United States of America.
If that's the case, then I have to change the resolution of this whole picture so far.
I'm well aware, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
This whole thing could be really tiny. Like all of these islands put together could be the size of Hawaii
Hawaii.
or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we kind of have to determine the scale of that, and so I don't know. I'm gonna throw it over to chat and see what you guys think. What would be a good size to compare this to? You know, uh, do you want it like a medium size, large, small, like? And we don't have to worry about necessarily like right now. We're not gonna worry about where on the globe or the map it is located. That can always be moved. So we're not limited to, oh, this is going to be north, so it's got to have ice and stuff like that. If we decide to put ice and stuff like that, we'll put it, and then we can determine where it goes afterwards. So, um, yeah. What are you drawing over there?
I'm just like playing around, like, 'cause this could be like a whole city right here.
Oh,
Just
yeah, yeah.
sitting right here, a whole city.
Could be.
And then like out here we
Could
have,
be a flying saucer, too.
yeah, there's
Looks
that
like
as well. Like,
from the Jetsons.
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We have like farms. Like this is like a scale that a lot of people have
Yeah.
used. So
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I'm not adept at drawing little cities, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's just there.
I think we're going to keep it just to terrain right now before we focus on any kind of cities or anything like that.
Well, we have to know how big the cities are going to be and like the towns and stuff,
Right. Well,
as, so we can
we're gonna
scale
stick
of
with
the.
the just the geography of it right now. Deserts,
Mhm.
mountains.
That was just to give some idea.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting chat know. So that kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks like kind of Dalaran style from Vanilla WoW with
Hmm.
the big bubble over it.
Yep,
So I don't know.
not what I meant, but I just wasn't going to start drawing spires since I knew I was going to erase it. So,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I say let's just start drawing some terrain, I guess, and that'll kind of determine the size of these areas.
so because
So
it's they're kind of islandish. Do they? I mean, tropical
They don't
is
have to be.
no.
They could be.
They could be.
They don't have to. That's why I said we could pick the terrain, right, and then determine from whatever we decide on the terrain that where it's located on the map after. That's the beauty of starting out small like this. Is we've not determined where this location is in our world. It's north, south, east, west. If we have northern and southern cold polar caps, like the polar, like the north cap and the south cap could be tropical. Right? They don't have to be cold just because that's how Earth works. So the equator line could be cold. You know. So we got to kind of determine what we want to do. Do we want to make this more? Seth still sees a dog. Do we want? I kind of see it too. You tilt your head a bit. Do we want to make it so it's desert? Do we want mountains? Like, what do you guys think is a good place to start? We want to do forest, desert, mountain, swamp. I mean, there's all different kinds of ways we can go with this. Do you have any ideas, Elmi?
Um,
Since chat does not want to help on the terrain tonight.
I feel like there needs to be a swampy area, but I don't know how to depict any of that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I have looked around for on different maps that video games have done that people have done themselves and stuff, and I'm still like I just feel like I'm artistically stumped. Like I don't know how to
Right.
change it so that it suits us, but at the same time, people will know what it is.
Right. Yeah, well, that's stuff that we're going to figure out as we go. We're going to learn this.
Okay.
So, I'm going to see if I can find some kind of references to, like, what a swamp would look like. Um, um,
Excuse you.
what?
Said excuse you.
Excuse me, what?
You coughed.
Oh, only you heard that.
Oh. Need an island of fire. Hmm.
An island of fire.
I'm not even on the right frickin' layer.
Let's see
Just gonna
here.
start cleaning the little ones up. So there's a little bit more to work with.
Finding a lot of just like woods and stuff. I don't really see much swamp.
Oh, look, we got Chrissy Bell. She came back tonight.
Welcome back. So I found, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. Found this. This is just kind of like a rough drawing of what a swamp would look like. This is from a D&D thing. Jeff and Tom. Not quite sure. That's kind of what I found to depict a swamp. Something like that.
I'm not seeing it. Okay, so they did a lot of little islands and
It's
okay.
like water with like little plant life, kind of like the V-shaped seagulls that you see, but they're it's like a three-pronged seagull.
And three prong.
Come on, when you were little and you drew seagulls in the sky, birds in the sky, and they
It
were
was
just
just birds in general.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
consummate V's. It's like Trogdor.
I
So
mean, I didn't stick to those for very long. I started drawing actual
of
birds.
course I said that. Hence why I said when you were little. That's how I still draw birds. So don't knock me.
So you're still little?
Yes.
Okay.
Molten people live on Fire Island. That would be interesting.
I mean, I think, I mean, I did show the one picture of the concept art that we were thinking of long time ago, and she was kind of a lava lady.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there is a pot, like, we could definitely bring her in.
Yeah, like there's some cool stuff that I have ideas for. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be something that goes into this particular island chain. I would love like an inactive volcano that is all hollowed out, and there's all a like um like a preservation in there. You know, like all animal and stuff like life that started in this volcano region. That's all, you know. It's no longer an active volcano. I think something like that would be cool. Not necessarily in this region, but you know. All right, so I guess let's pick one of the areas to start with. So you want to start with that one? So you want to put the
Yeah.
swamp in like that general kind of area?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
down here works. I mean, I did up the resolution a couple times, so it is, I think, about maybe 200 times bigger than it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was about this size, and now this is 100%, whereas 100% was that. So yeah, I did boost it by 200.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get a little bit more detail in here. Alrighty. Um, hmm.
Kind of want to go with like a murky kind of like murky water and like brownish and murky blue kind of.
Oh, so we're actually gonna do color?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
That way you show off better that's a swamp with that, right?
I guess so, yeah.
So like right now the color I see in your second swatch, that could probably be swamp water color, right?
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna clean up the inside line so I can start. It's kind of blurry since I upped the resolution just a little bit. All right. Hmm.
so now you guys could start thinking of what is going to be in this swamp, what it lives, like names, anything like that. Just throw them out there, throw them in chat. I'll write them down, and then we'll determine later what we're gonna name it. But just so we can get some ideas going and stuff like that. So. To see, you know, if it's just a normal swamp, if it's got muck creatures in it, you know, if it's got a tribe of
Frog people,
frog people that live in it, crocodile people,
lizard men, dare I say.
giant turtle birds, as Seb said.
Turtle birds.
Turtle
Huh.
birds.
So instead of sea turtles, they're sky turtles.
Yeah, like the paratroopas from Super Mario.
Okay, okay.
Or the parabeetles or whatever, those red beetles with the wings that fly. They're kind of like turtles. It's close. I don't know how that can be, but whatever. Yeah. Turtle birds sound very interesting to me. That could be a creature. Doesn't have to be like a
Yeah, I mean, we have to build a bestiary as well, not
yeah,
just
exactly. Exactly. But if we're gonna go like a bayou theme with this and kind of thing, we could go with crocodiles. You know, crocodile people. Instead of having actual crocodiles live, they're crocodile people. So, I will kind of run this. Let's see. I'll open this while she's drawing here. So, this area that we have here is the swamp. We have I can't spell either. Crocodile. Why does that not look right?
I see
I
everything on
think that's
delay.
right.
That's the worst part about this.
Crocodile people. That still doesn't look right to me. Lizard people. Frog people. And Sev wants giant turtle birds. What do we call the like the anthropomorphic people, like all the people of the universe? What do we call them?
We never really settled a name on
No, I just mean in general, the loose term for the races. Is that what we call them?
races. Yeah, I mean, that's what we call them on Earth, our world,
We
right?
don't have turtle people on. That's why I'm asking. Is that referred to as a race? Like, because
Yes, if
okay,
they're
so
people. I mean, predominantly you in stories like this, or you basically you focus in on the humanoids, and they're mostly called races.
okay,
So
yeah, that's species. Species would be more like the. I think
the
when I think of species, I think of like the bestiary,
yeah.
which is more or less the same thing. So
All right, start a bit smaller.
so this is going out all the way to the ocean, the swamp.
Yes.
Okay, so interesting. Okay, okay.
I mean, that's how I see it. And like obviously because I was using that certain tool, I was able to get gradients
Mm-hmm.
of color so you could tell like this is the part of the swamp that is probably, you could probably go swimming in it if you didn't want to catch a million diseases.
That's true. Instead of saying the frog people could live in the trees like Ewoks, we could do like
Uh,
tree frogs.
I see frog peoples living in like mud huts.
Mud huts.
Yeah.
Kind of like the tree frog theme,
Tree frog. Now that's completely different. I was thinking like more like, frogs you
like a
find.
toad
No, you can find frogs in like ponds and stuff. So that's what I was
sitting
thinking
on their
of.
lily pads.
Yeah.
We could have a lily pad motif.
Version.
You know. See, then once we finish one of these areas, we're gonna come in, um, and oh, that's actually pretty interesting. Sev has an example I'll pull up, so we can kind of get an idea. She pulled this up from DeviantArt, where once we flesh out one of these areas, we're gonna go in and focus and be like, okay, well, there's a village here, there's a village here, there's a village here, and while we're doing that, we're actually gonna Omi will start drawing some concept for these people too. We'll start getting some concept art, maybe 3, 4, 5 different versions of frog people, and we can kind of go from there and see which one we like and change things around and whatnot. So
And it's not just limited to me. If
oh, of
anybody
course,
out there would love to add concept art for creatures or even races of humanoid creature combinations, that's awesome.
of course. So
All right, I think I've smoothed it out pretty well.
yeah.
Um,
So I'm assuming that indentation there is going to be land.
yes.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scritchety in some barrier lines,
Mm-hmm.
like to mark the land.
Yeah.
I think that's Hmm. Let me see how big that is. Oh, that's perfect. Okay.
It almost looks like a shark mouth opening up.
It kind of does. There's his nose.
Yeah.
There's his eye.
Yep. Exactly.
And we'll put a fin here.
Yep. There you go. This is Shark Swamp.
We'll have
The
we'll have shark.
only types of sharks that swim in swamps.
That's not true, actually. Um, Aquatic life such as sharks are found in freshwater ponds, even just because of the way that s- rivers run and all that jazz. They just
Mm-hmm.
decide to take a little journey and then boop, there they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of marks where solid land would be, I guess, ish.
Okay.
Um, hmm, so I
Yeah.
need to see if that.
Yeah. Exactly. See, they're little birds.
I kind of feel like the
They're three-pronged birds.
scale that I'm drawing them at, they kind of look tree-ish.
They're big. Yeah. You could probably
Yeah,
draw them smaller than that.
I'm using a pretty small brush already.
Yeah, but you're making big, tall ones. You can just do smaller like that.
I mean, I would assume they get
I
smaller.
mean, this is only for like this isn't the big detail like zoomed in. Like we're not going to go and show where every single tree is on this. This is just kind of like the overall the terrain
Hmm.
map, so we kind of know what this is. You know, when we go in and we draw, um, like we could go in and draw a zoomed in version of this and show you where, you know, the tree. Like think of this as like probably the best reference for a lot of people is World of Warcraft. This would be the world map, the big overall like one, not the zoomed in one, you know?
Is there any other like details I should be adding?
No, I think
Um,
just this is just to identify that it's a swamp. I don't think, you know, like we really need anything else at this point. This is just so we know that it's a swamp, and that everybody else, on upon looking at it, identify it as a swamp. Like I said, when the other details we'll get into it when we focus on this island and, you know, this section, this land, and we zoom in and make this as its own map.
mhm.
This is just what the world map looks like.
I feel like adding the trees in there is making a difference for me.
Yeah, for sure. The cat is going nuts up there, having a field day. I don't know what the hell he's chasing. One of his toys, probably.
Okay. So I'm just gonna.
Now, are we gonna have this be the main water source that comes into this swamp is from the ocean? So this is gonna be like a saltwater swamp, or it's gonna have runoff from a river or something like that connects into it, or how do you want to go about doing this?
Well, let me zoom out and see what the whole island kind of looks like to begin with, because it might not be big enough for any runoff, and it would just be like swamp water from. And that would make sense if we want to put crocodiles and stuff in there because it's coming straight in from the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, because this is an island. I mean, it's surrounded by water. I don't think we could get away with putting rivers in or anything like that. I mean, we could
I mean,
maybe
it's
just to break it
like,
up a little bit, but
yeah, like I said, we don't even know the whole scale of this at the moment. You know,
nope,
this island could be huge.
we could.
It's a rainy area. I'll mark that in the notes too. So based on like that information about the swamp, um, we'll kind of get an idea like where it goes on the map if to determine once we determine the caps, like if that's going to be the big thing, is the equator going to be warm, and are the polar caps going to be cold? Are they going to be polar caps, or are we going to
Yeah,
go a different route with that?
yeah. Is this world does it even get cold?
Yeah.
I mean, that would just you can't do that. You have to have a cold place
Oh,
in
I
a
agree.
fantasy
I
world.
100% we need a cold place.
I just
So
I
I'm
have
just
to.
saying the geography doesn't have to mimic Earth. It could
Mm-mm.
be, you know.
Yeah, it could be completely different.
So all right, well let's zoom out and figure out something else. You can clean those lines up
Off screen, yeah.
off screen. Um,
I was waiting for everybody to.
yeah. So what else should we put into like what would border the swamp? What would be a good um, you know, contrast or complement to the swamp? Because we could go a very strange route and put like a desert right nearby the swamp. That seems completely out of the ordinary,
It does.
but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
I kind of want to.
Because you could have, bordering the swamp, you could have a mountain range, right?
Yeah,
And right on the other side of the mountain range is the desert, and all the runoff from the mountain goes to the swamp side for the water. Um, or, and
so
then the other side of the mountain range could be dry, and there could be absolutely nothing, over there.
uh,
Seb is saying farmland, since the swamp has good soil. We could do that.
yeah. I mean, take this, make it kind of like a bluff kind of deal. So that this part of the island is higher than this part.
Yeah, like it's like a upper peninsula
Yeah.
kind of deal.
So I'll just sketch that in for now. And you say farmland. That could definitely be something like over here-ish,
Yeah.
kind of like in this area.
Yep.
Um,
Hey Mystics, how's it going?
New Mystics. Um, like 1,000? Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, freaking hated that zone, but y yeah, I guess.
I love every single reference that Seb has to terrain is World of Warcraft.
Well, I mean, it's
No,
the most
it's
recognizable,
I
really. I
wouldn't
mean,
say it's the
especially
most, but amongst us, it is. I would say
it's most recognizable for people who've been playing it for what, 12
exactly,
years. So,
exactly,
I mean, it's gonna be the first thing your brain goes to,
exactly.
unless you're a Lord of the Rings nut, and then, you know. Um, yeah, hmm.
So that's where Farmville goes, right there.
Yeah, all of Farmville. The whole app fits right in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Mhm.
do you really want your crops to grow with swamp water though? So if that's the case, I think we do need to have a river that runs into the swamp. So the farmers have access to clean water. Because if this is a saltwater swamp, you can't really grow crops with nothing but salt water.
They're just surrounded by salt water.
Right.
So, I mean, to have fresh, I mean, I don't, where is it gonna run from?
Um, that upper
This area?
peninsula? No.
Oh no, from here?
Yeah,
Have like,
if that's higher ground, water runs down. Water runs downhill.
I realize
So
that
if we have on the left side of that, um,
a little body
it
of
could be like a
water.
valley, right? So you put an upper peninsula on the other side of it as well, right? On the left side.
Like that?
Yep. And then right in the middle, instead of that being a raised area it's actually a valley.
The water has to come from a source, like a water source. So like there would have to be some sort of body of water up here, and then the river would have to run down.
Right.
Okay.
So I think it should run right into the tip of that, right into that, straight into that. I think if we're gonna have water run, it's gonna run right there.
Hmm. Okay. So that would be water up here as well, like a lake.
Yeah, it'd be fresh water.
I don't know how to explain how it got up there, but it's there, guys and girls.
You don't have to explain how any lake gets anywhere.
I know. I don't have to explain it at all. I just have to draw it. I mean, I'm gonna clean this up. It's just going down for now.
For all we know, it's a magical lake.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
Excalibur can be right here.
Sev said this area gets a lot of rain.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So if there's a nice hole there, water just tends to live there. So you probably want to
All
color
right.
that in with a prettier shade of blue
Yeah,
to
I
determine that that is fresh water.
just gonna erase some of these lines because they're driving me crazy.
Wiping out the farmlands.
That those lines were just there to whatchamacallit. So that yeah, things and stuff. Words are hard right now.
We could have we could have turtle people live up here.
Yeah, I'm actually I think gonna try to draw some small tropical trees, not palm trees, because I see those go on beaches. Like that's where my brain goes when I think of palm trees.
Well, what about like a rainforest almost?
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, um, you could even have another runoff go right off of the cliff straight down into a waterfall.
Here.
Straight down, yeah.
All right.
I mean, we don't have to.
I mean, that would give a little bit more fresher water in this area. Unless you mean like it goes over here and comes down. But then that doesn't really help the farmers.
No, no. I still want thing on the side. The problem is when you split up bodies of water and you have 2 points and stuff, that it's hard to maintain the fact that um, the river or the water source is able to continue that much flow.
Hmm.
And that's why you never see a river branch off um, and go in two opposite directions. You always see the rivers coming together, like they're flowing from two different sources and connect, but you never see a river flow and split out into two different sources
Hmm.
because one of the sources would dry up. They would not be able to maintain the current and everything to continue both sources. But I mean, since it's a plateau, like up there, that could actually be a waterfall along the river as well. Yeah, and Sev says that you could create a mill with
Like
the
a
waterfall.
watermill.
Yeah, to power the farm. And I could definitely see that. So we could do kind of like in that path straight down, like right at the edge of the plateau. We could have that be a waterfall there. You know,
Hmm.
so um, I'm gonna call it a lake for now until we decide if it's gonna be anything. So it's gonna be like a rainforest, I guess, right?
Tropically. I mean, you don't want to go too
Rainforests
rainforest.
are pretty tropical, but if this is gonna be rainy to begin with,
Yeah, I guess.
right? Rainforest kind of seems like the way to go. Rainforest into a swamp.
That makes sense.
I like that. Um, Rainforests ish area.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to zoom in. Oop, that's the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
So I can indicate where um, the waterfalls are going. Hmm. Actually, just gonna have to use the pen tool and blend it out. No, it's too dark. Too dark, too dark.
Powered by mill, right? Yeah. That seems interesting. Lake Muck Muck. So those dark indicators are like water runoff areas or
Yeah, that would kind of be like where there would be like, it
drops.
comes off,
Yeah.
yeah, and that would be a drop. This would be a drop. Oh, I was 1,000% in on that one. Whew.
Very good. Very good.
So yeah, you can, yeah, totally can tell that it indicates that there is drop-offs there
Yeah.
for waterfall. Okay. So I kind of want to clean up the plateau area. Go in and actually probably put a different layer after I clean up the lines,
Mm-hmm.
and then color that in so that it's separate from the water.
Yeah. So I'm reading right now the very definition of a swamp is a wetland that is forested. Many swamps occur along large rivers where they are critically dependent upon natural water level fluctuations.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
Like
Staten Island,
the
where
river
I,
doesn't have to like so if the lake doesn't overflow to the point where it runs off into the river at all times, it would
hmm
cut off fresh water from coming into it, which would kind of stagnate the water, which would kind of create exactly that.
see, I live on Staten Island, and most of Staten Island is swamp
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that I guess the water ebbs and flows from the bay.
Okay.
So it makes a lot of sense for there to be swamp on the edge of this island as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Swamps are characterized by slow moving to stagnant waters. They are usually associated with uh, adjacent rivers or lakes. Swamps are features areas of very low topography relief. Swamps generate coal as rock. So basically, this river would not always be a river. You know what I mean? Like the water level has to get to a certain point in the lake or the pond to
hmm
flow. So the water levels have to get to a certain point.
Okay.
Because it could be like, oh, during early parts of the it could go through like a cycle like the rainy season, and when, during the
hmm
rain the water accumulates and then it runs off and it forms into this lake and goes off. But as the season progresses, the river, the lake sits there, but the water level doesn't continue to rise, and once the water is drained past its point, it stops, and that's what continues it to be a swamp.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Like Seb said, there's a rainy season and a dry season. So,
Okay.
so what we could
So,
probably have up on that upper plateau is just a bunch of trees now
okay.
and vegetation and that kind of stuff. I mean, we'll do like a concept art drawn in on a more clear scale to be like, oh, these are the types of trees. We're not going to worry about that for the overall map. We're just going to indicate that it's trees and forestation of some kind, so it's recognizable at a glance that, oh yes, this is a forest or a rainforest or something like that.
Just giving myself a little bit more space so I can get a little bit more detailed because we do want to put some trees up there just to indicate that is. I kind of feel like this is kind of oasis-ish up here.
Okay.
So, oh, that's the wrong button. That was bad. All right. So, what are the trees gonna look like, really?
It's trees, not pine
Hmm.
trees.
No, definitely not pine trees. Um,
Yeah, more like canopy style trees. Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Sorry, guys and girls.
copy pasta all your trees.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I lost the layer where the trees are. Oh, that's because they're all posting as different layers. Oh
Interesting.
boy.
Can you merge layers?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay.
Um, just a few more, right? And then one here, here, and here. Alrighty. I mean, that's why we chose to do this digitally. It's just so much
Exactly.
easier. So much
Exactly.
easier.
We could have done this traditionally,
We could
and
have.
there would have been a lot of drawing over. Like you really wouldn't use color or anything in a drawing like that.
No. Wait. See, this is where I'm like, I'm confused where things are. Oh boy. Um, yeah, he can go down one more. And I just need to get rid of that line there, so I have to find it. I think it's actually in the lines.
Looks like a couple of those trees aren't on the same layer.
No, I know. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't want the pen layer. I'm just gonna put like little shrubbies that don't look like scribbles. I think we're set.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go in with color now. I need to actually name these layers. Um, Me and my stupid noises.
So I'm gonna look for a good way to depict farmland on fantasy maps.
Usually it's just like squares with lines. Like really super primitive, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
My ears are ringing. I don't like that. Someone's talking about me. Don't talk about me. That's rude.
What?
Don't you know that like if your ears are ringing, it's actually somebody talking about you and you're psychically attuned to that. So when your ears ring and you're just like, "No, you're friggin' nuts."
My ears would always be ringing if that was the case.
Oh, 'cause someone's always talking about you. You're that
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's secretly President Trump.
Oh my god, his ears. I like that. Yeah, it's definitely kind of like an oasis.
Your ears get hot, somebody's talking about you. Huh. I actually never heard of it that way. I guess it depends where you grow up.
Huh. Yeah, I've never
Because,
heard
you
of
know,
that
in,
either.
in in Canada, I don't think people's ears get hot very often. It's always friggin' cold.
Hmm. Funny enough, my father is allergic to garlic, and every time he eats garlic, his ears turn red.
Should I bring this green over into the side as well?
Um, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to add any extra trees or anything on that
No,
side yet until we decide what we want to do over there, or just that may just not have anything. Um,
right now. We could
yeah, I
probably
mean,
have
we
like
could
a little,
village or town or something up there.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, a town would actually be nice up there because, you know, you could have the farmland down here that supplies them with their goods.
which Oasis, Liam or Noel? Um, we definitely, I think, if that's what we're gonna do, if we're gonna have this be an Oasis, what we're gonna have to do is make some kind of reference to a cannonball or something. You know, slowly walking down the hall faster than a cannonball. The band Oasis. No, totally lost on
Um,
you.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of lost just a little bit.
Mm.
I know who they are, but I don't know them that well to know lyrics from their songs.
Yeah. See, that's Sev's already thinking of the kind of the exact style of how I would like to name places is through that because it's like, oh, there's an Oasis and then you have like a little joke, you know, that's in there. Like maybe the village that's over there is the mass producer of cannonballs, you know, something that you wouldn't really think of, you know, and when you know and you really you get there and you make that connection at some point. It's not something that you're gonna pick up right away, you know, but it's there for the people that notice that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's really starting to evolve. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess let's just do that little corner of land down on the bottom left now.
Over
That's gonna
here?
be like the farmland, right? Is that what we
Yeah,
decided?
I think so.
There has to be a wonder wall. Yeah, of course, of course. That's what I mean. References like that. You know what I would love is actually in that little kind of like jettison a lighthouse of some sort.
Okay.
I don't know if that'd be too weird, too close to a swamp like that.
Not really. Do. So right here you want a lighthouse.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think we've already decided on the scale so far.
Yeah, oh for sure.
So it'll be okay now. Just gotta double check what. Okay, I'll put it on that later. That's fine. Zoom in. A lighthouse. Hmm. I'm actually gonna do that for now, so I can see what I'm doing. That's the wrong color. Lighthouses aren't green.
It could be.
Yeah, you're right. They could be, but this one isn't. So, um, you know what? I've never really seen a lighthouse before.
Never.
I mean, yes, but no. Like, I've never actually drawn one, so I have no idea what I'm friggin' doing here right now.
That looks fine to me.
Yeah? Okay. So the frog people or whoever, they have a lighthouse.
Maybe. We haven't decided exactly where everybody's going yet.
This is true.
Right? We just kind of know some concepts of things that we want to include in that area. The frog people live in the swamp for what we've been talking about.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean that it's going to extend the frogs are going to be farmers. There could be other races that are in this area.
Typical lighthouse stripes.
Sure.
I'll put those in with color though instead. Um, the lines are just, it's because the resolution still isn't big enough to, there we go. That feels so much better. Feels so much better when it's that small. So now I can go like this. And then go, what?
There you go.
Okay. Um, it was on layer 7, right?
Sure. So what color stripes you put on your lighthouse?
Well, right now I'm putting the base color down. And I mean, if you want it to stand out, probably go with red. Like so.
It's a barbershop pole.
Okay, then no, it's not gonna be red. It'll be blue.
It's a barbershop pole.
Yeah, whatever, okay.
Those are red, white, and blue. And then maybe even have like the yellow triangle coming out of it. The light beam.
Okay.
Like partial, you could probably draw it partial opaque.
Yeah, that's what this the marker thing does.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Perfect. It's a lighthouse.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go on the plateau layer and give them a little bit of grass on the kind of not so green side.
Or does it have to be on grass?
No,
It could be built up on rocks.
then I'd have to edit this a little bit more so that it kind of looks like it's on a bluff. Which means going in on the lines, fix it up a little bit more.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there.
Just to give it a little bit of height.
Mm-hmm.
So when the water comes in on it, it's not gonna like wash out the, yeah. You see it.
I do.
Everybody else sees it. So it's starting to look really cute.
So I guess the last thing that we'll add today is just like the farmland in the surrounding area.
Okay.
It's acorn. It's an acorn lighthouse. It's like an acorn hat.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's
So
really hard. Oh, it doesn't look. Oh, it was looking like a dick before. Oh my God. All right, farmland. Did you put a picture up or send me one or
no, you said you knew what it looked like, so I didn't bother.
I said typically. I
Right,
don't know how we want to do it.
the same way you're doing everything else. We
Okay,
figure it
okay.
out as we go. That's the whole point of this, right? We've already told you guys last week. We've never done anything like this before. This is new to both of us, so we're starting from scratch. We're learning as along with you guys. So farmland and there's a lighthouse. Something to do with acorns.
So I'm just gonna sketch in a couple things, like that's where the mill. No, the mill has to kind of go on the hill, doesn't it? Like right here. So I'm not gonna do anything with that right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
the mill would go, and the water wheel would be in the actual lake or the river. On the river.
yeah, right here.
So the water that flows. But the thing is, it wouldn't always get powered because when the river is dry, um, it
It would just be
yeah.
there.
So in actuality, what they could do is they could have during the dry months they could have something that does in the wind, like a windmill. So it could be a windmill with a water wheel kind of thing. So it gets double power like that, you know.
Hmm.
But we'll focus on that more next week. For now, we'll finish this off this week with the farmlands. We'll get the farmlands going here.
Okay.
I mean, we already got some ideas, some concept stuff for the swamp area. This this is I
Now,
don't know
do they go
what this is.
horizontal or vertical?
Try both and see what looks better. Make a layer of each, and then you could toggle between and see. Looks like a prison.
I know. I was like, it doesn't look good. So I kind of have to. It's because I'm working in such a small, with such a small resolution, and the brush is kind of like,
Well, you could always up the resolution later, right?
yes, I can, but then I have to go in and do a lot of tweaking. So that's like an off-screen thing
Yeah.
because it's not that fun to watch. Just trying to give it rounded corners so that it looks not so window-like. And I'm probably gonna go in with a different color,
Yeah. Going with like
a brown. No, that's crooked.
7 more like a quilt pattern, maybe.
It's square. I always like, I mean, I grew up with farmland around me, and they always did stripes. I just, I don't know if that's too big or not.
You mean for each square?
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab it, move it around, because I kind of want to put it near where the mill would be.
Yep, makes sense.
So there's this. Select clear so you don't drive me crazy.
when they touch or no?
No, there would be enough room between them, like a path, so that they'd be you'd be able to get through them with like horses or whatever you have pulling your wagons. So how about that? I would say, I mean, it's kind of like working off of a couple pixels, the way
Yeah.
that this is set up so far, this resolution. I don't know how much farmland we want.
We could just start with 4 fields to see. I think that's a fairly good number.
Okay, where are we putting
Servicing
this for?
farmland from above looks like a quilt.
Oh, I mean, I know that that's farmland, looking at it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we could always figure that out and adjust later too. This is
where do we want
just,
to put this fourth one?
I'd say in the yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then it does kind of look like a quilt pattern. It's starting to whatevs.
I'm gonna aerial.
Where's the farmhouse gonna go?
I'd say the farmhouse actually goes right up on top of the cliff almost. Like if we're gonna have the mill right where the grassy area is there, then the house could be just above the mill.
Here? I
Like
mean,
just to
we
the
don't,
left or no?
if we're gonna put like a village up here, then we kind of
The
want
town that house could be part of the village though.
the farmland usually doesn't really closely border towns or villages. There's always a good amount of a gap. So I would be like, I would put, say, not the house, not on the swamp side, but probably on this side. And then there would be like a road that goes up this way past the mill not being directly
Okay.
connected to um the farm because it kind of is different in a way. Little pixel farmhouse. I gotta get in there and do.
Do your little pixel farmhouse.
I don't know how to do a pixel farmhouse. I feel like that's too far up. I'm gonna run into the little bluff there.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah, Sev says the house has got to be done with the farmland. Yeah, my browsers are running really slow right now, so I can't really pull up anything at the moment.
Which one is this stuff? I don't know, Ice Hammer. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. My chat is not refreshing right away. Like you're reading comments that I don't see. Oh, there, I see it. I
There you
I
see it.
I am, Mr. Icehammer. Hello.
Just don't want to go crazy with the scaling. Okay, that's 100%. So yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah, I could do this. This'll help indicate us better.
Alrighty.
So that's a little farmhouse
Hmm.
with its acorn roof.
Shut up! I can't do much with little pixels like this.
Icehammer says that I look like a lead singer in a rock metal band.
Really? Huh?
I
I
should
don't think
I
so.
should start my own band.
Start your own band. Oh no. Okay. Do we want to add any more color anywhere?
Uh, no. I think this is pretty good for today. We'll let me take this off the
Mm.
screen so we can see.
You can actually see the little light coming out the lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's cool.
fantastic. I love it.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we kind of decided what this is going to be. It's going to be, something that's got a rainy season and a dry season. Um, and then we're going to have that lake fill up and it's going to run down into the swamp. And when the river hits a certain level, the river dries up, which causes the swamp to have the stagnant water. And the upper area is more tropical-ish, rainforesty oasis kind of deal, and then we have the stagnant water down. We'll probably have something like crocodile or frog people that live in there, and yeah, we got some farmland, and we're probably gonna build a village up in that upper left green area that's next to the oasis.
Right up there. You see
Yep,
my cursor.
yep. So, I guess during the week, the next week or so, um, Omi will probably touch up the resolution a little bit. I
Yeah.
think off screen. So we'll have the resolution touched up. She'll go clean up the edges of the rest of the map like she did with the edges that she's been working on down here.
Mhm.
And yeah, next week, um, I think what we're gonna do for and the giant turtle birds. Yeah, definitely cannot forget the giant turtle birds. So. And I think what we'll do next week is we'll show this map off here, and instead of adding any more sections or villages or work on anything, we'll focus a little bit in the swamp area, and we'll really hammer that down. We'll get some of the concept going with what lives there, and we'll probably draw some creatures, be it the humanoids or maybe some of the animals. And
Mhm.
we'll get some sketch work to go with that. So. I think that will be a good place to go from there.
Mhm.
So we'll change it up a little bit. So we have a little map building. Last week, this week we're gonna hone in a little bit and draw some of the areas. Next week we'll get some of the creatures going. Just kind of break it all up a little bit.
Yeah.
So so your guys' job before we come back and join you guys next Sunday is think of what you want to live in the swamp. Right? If we're gonna have frog people, try to think of what kind of characteristics they're going to be. If they're going to be the tree frogs, that Sev did and have tree dwellings and stuff like that, we'll work on that. We'll build them up and stuff. We'll get their field to kind of look more tree froggy, than a lily
That'll be
pad
fun.
theme or something like that. Shrek lives in the swamp. Yes, Ice Hammer. Um, we and then any kind of wildlife that you guys want to come up with, the turtle birds, for example, right? If the turtle birds are gonna live in the swamp, we'll do something with them.
Oh, oh, I just had a great idea.
Did you? Wait,
Oh, come here, pen tool.
I'm scared
Right,
of your great idea.
right here.
A cave?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, ooh. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yep.
I
There we
like it.
go.
I like it. Do the traditional cartoon bear cave right there. You know.
Almost like a mouse hole in your baseboard.
Exactly. Which,
Yeah.
in fact, for the record, majority of caves do not look like that.
No, they don't.
So
No, they're very almost hidden. They're not that obvious.
yeah. So you guys think, yeah, definitely stuff both can happen, right? So I'm just saying, just start thinking of what you guys want, and then when we come back next week, we're really gonna go off that. If we're gonna have the frog people, if we're gonna have crocodile people, if we're gonna have both, the frog people and the crocodile people may hate each other, right? They may be at war with each other, and the frog people live up in the trees and control, everything above the water, and the crocodile people could live in the water and control everything on water level
Hmm.
or something like that. So be very, very interesting. We could see, what happens with that, and uh, we may get another idea that comes along somewhere along the way where the crocodile people are no longer crocodile people, right? So kangaroo bats live in the cave. It could be like, uh, personally, I don't want them to be crocodile people. I want them to be like aladiles or crocodigators or something. We'll figure that out.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think we'll really focus on the swamp next week and what lives in the swamp creatures. Whether it's got those I don't remember what they're called from Star Wars. Those bats that fly around there.
The ones that eat the ship.
Yeah,
Wait,
that was also inside the cave, but they do have
yeah.
flying creatures, and I don't remember what they're called in Dagobah. We could have some kind of flying birds, some creatures. Those could be the turtle birds for all we know,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, next week that's what we're gonna do. So start thinking of some ideas, and until then, we'll see you guys later.
Ciao.